All right, so I'd like to call the Council on Aging meeting to get in order, April 6th, 2021. Can I just do a roll call? You can state your name so we have it for the minute taker. So it's Christine Furno,
Patrice Russo,
Janet Bruley,
Jim Duchamp.
Rita Hare.
that was everybody. Okay, we have Patrick Blake and Jennifer Hoffer. They're not able to attend, but those are excused absences. First item on the agenda is to review minutes from the March 2nd meeting. Has everybody had a chance to review those?
Yeah.
yes.
Is there a motion to accept as presented?
I'll make a motion, Janet Bruley.
Seconded, Rita Hare.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 I abstain as I was not at that meeting. Next on the agenda is the report of bills and vouchers.
So we had just the brains and balance underneath the grant. We had the phone bill underneath our regular Council on Aging budget and a couple of bills to Thurston Foods from our community outreach food program donation account. That was it.
Vaccine update.
So the struggle was real for about the first month, trying to get anybody and everybody anywhere 24/7. And then Uxbridge opened up and Agnieszka's been sharing a link before it goes to the state. The towns get to share it. So I think we've gotten maybe over 300 people in, and we're still doing, putting people in daily as people are calling the 60-year-olds now and the younger groups. We're still able to put them in. I think I put in 15 yesterday for today because they had some cancellations. So people are really excited to be able to get right in there and get an appointment. She did send me a link for more of the really vulnerable homebound seniors. I got it last night, and this is going to be one day of the J&J vaccine. I don't have anybody left on my list that would fit that criteria. And they are doing homebound vaccines. They're going to be doing that also.
Oh, good.
A couple of people on that list that I provided her, and I know that Dr. Millen was providing her a list. So it's going along just great. We had Hannaford, our pharmacist, gave me a day of 30 vaccines. So we got 30 people right in there. And she emailed me this morning and said that she could do probably another day if we needed it.
Oh,
So,
nice. Good.
Things are certainly coming along, and for a while it was kind of a struggle in the smaller towns because they wanted everybody at the max vaccination sites, but now all the little sites are doing really, really well. So
yeah, because we're doing with how many towns? The one in Uxbridge, you know?
I think it's like maybe 8 now. I'm not even sure. Chief, do you know how many towns are at the clinic in Uxbridge?
I thought it was like 13 now.
Wow.
I heard it was.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they're having a good turnout. John's volunteered both for Uxbridge and Upton. He said they've been very busy. So
We
good.
We have been busy finishing up the food program and trying to get things back in order from that. So we will be probably next week or the week after. Jennifer and I will go down and do a day or so.
Yeah, I know that was the biggest time for volunteers that they're looking for is the 9 to 2 slot.
Yep.
Kind of tough because everybody's working.
Right. So we just wanted to be able to kind of finish up everything we were doing here, vaccine wise and food wise. Take a breath this week and try to kind of get back into, some of our paperwork that's been left behind. And so hopefully in the next week or so, we'll be down. We're excited to be able to get down. So
yeah, me too. Once I'm all healed and can do it.
Yep.
All right. The meals program.
Patrice.
Yes, Jim.
Sam and I called to volunteer for that. And
Yeah.
they said they would call us back, and we never heard from them. So if they do need some help, we'll be glad to help out if we can.
I do have a link that was sent to me where you can sign up to volunteer and you can pick your time slots. So I will send that to you after the meeting, and that might be a better way to get into.
Okay, we'll try it.
Yeah, I will. I'll send that to you after the meeting. We finished the meals last Wednesday was our last day. We had started obviously with the holiday meals, doing Thanksgiving and Christmas. And then the first week of January, we started doing the breakfast and lunch 3 days a week. And then in March, we stepped it up and we started it 3 days a week for 6 days worth of food. So we didn't get any complaints. Nobody dropped off the list at all. We had people, doing it. We were doing quite a few meals. We were doing 120 every 3 days. And then on the weekend, we were pumping it up to 160 to give everybody like an extra bag with soup or crackers or snacks and things for the weekend. So it was very successful. We made over 3,800 meals, Jennifer and I, and they were delivered or they were picked up, and everybody seemed to really enjoy it. So we've hung up our aprons. I'm not sure for how long, but we shall see.
Yeah. No,
All in total, and when we started at the church last year in April, so from the church to the high school back to the senior center, we've made over 30,000 meals.
wow, that's great.
And it was paid for, some of it was CARES Act over the summer, of course, with the bus and things like that. But from November until March, when we finished, that was all donation money
Wow, that's nice.
in residents in town. So
That's great. All right, new outreach hours.
So Jennifer is going to be cross-training in outreach. I have a feeling that outreach is going to continually get busy because I think a lot of people now don't want to go into nursing homes and are fearful of those kind of environments. So we've had a pretty good uptick in the outreach. So I'm cross-training Jennifer, which is what I originally wanted to do when she was hired. And then, of course, COVID happened and we were just displaced here, there, and everywhere. So I'm training her a little bit now to do outreach, taking on some of the smaller clients that call in just for little things. And then once we can get out and about, I have 2 new cases that came in yesterday. So those are going to require home visits. We're both vaccinated, of course. So I'm going to train her on how to do all of that kind of stuff and, oversee it for a bit. And it will give me a break when I'm on vacation, and the fire chief, who's my backup when I'm on vacation, a break. So it'll be really good to have her. So she was 15 hours a week. She was part-time. She's being moved up to 30 hours a week. Because
great.
When we do open the center, we're probably going to be able to only use the main room. And that being said, we're going to have to extend our hours. How we're going to extend them, I'm not sure yet, because we also have to think about the school. The traffic here is terrible trying to get out of here with all the parents flying up the hill. That's why we close at 2 o'clock, and that's why we don't open until 9.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I see.
right. So now I'm hoping that we'll either extend until like 3:30. Maybe we'll do the Friday and do a full day. I'm not really sure how it's going to work, but I just know that, all of our programs, if they're social distance, they're going to have to be multiple times throughout the day. So I would like somebody here the whole time that the center's open, because with outreach, if we get called out for an emergency, at least one of us can, cover the other.
Right.
And then Sandy has resigned. So she on April 1st. And so we have the new clerk position, which is going to be, she was 19 hours going down to 15 hours. And now the new position will be 15 hours. I can't post it or anything because it has to be now voted at town meeting. So, but I do know for sure that even with Jennifer and I'm going to still need that 15-hour position, because that position does other things like answer the phone that's ringing off the hook and do some statistical things that we'll need done, and also helps with some of the bigger programs where we'll need 3 people here. So, that being said, some of the burden has been moved off of the clerk because we are getting our computer scanning system.
Oh, great.
So they came out. It's wonderful. I met with the town administrator to talk about it. He had it at one of the senior centers in Rhode Island, and it's fantastic. You hit the screen and it says who you are and what you're here for. And you just touch these little buttons and it will say, I'm here for lunch, I'm here for crochet, and I'm gonna stay for a movie. All of our statistics are right in there. We also have the opportunity to be able to call all of our seniors. So when I get the phone call at 7:30 or 8 o'clock in the morning that, the yoga teacher is is ill, all I have to do is hit a button and it's going to call everybody.
Oh, nice. Wow.
We want to make
Wow,
it geared,
that's great.
which would have been nice with the vaccine information this year or program this year. We can reach every senior. So they will put every senior in town in this call log, even if they come here or they don't come here. And then we will be able to separate it by groups. So if PM says, I can't do the afternoon painting class, you can call everybody. So that's going to save a lot of time because sometimes you're calling 15 people. You know, and I do keep a master list at home of every class. So I'm able to call from home or in my car on the way in. But it's going to be really nice to be able to do that. And a lot of Sandy's work was creating labels to the newsletter, which is automatically going to do that for us. And, you know, doing all the statistics of who comes in and what they're here for and all of that. So
Yeah, that'll save a lot of time.
we were never able to, it's an investment of, you know, probably about $6,000 or $7,000. And we were never able to afford it. And because this year we didn't have all of our regular programs throughout the, you know, all day long with exercise and such, we have the money to be able to use from the grants. And this computer system is actually linked right into MCOA and Executive Office of Elder Affairs. So when the annual report comes, it prints a report for me. This report takes me 3 weeks every summer to do.
Mm-hmm.
Prints the report for me. All I have to do is double check it and send it over and write a letter. So
Wow. So
it's
it's got a lot of options to it.
a lot of options to it and more than I could even tell you, you know, and so we're really excited about that. So that's why even having the person 15 hours a week scattered throughout,
Mm-hmm.
we still have Katie, who's per diem, who is anxious to get back now.
I
So,
bet.
yep. So that'll be, you know, great to have her. So I think with, you know, with Jennifer and myself, with the 15-hour position, and then having Katie per diem when we have a big event, when that happens, I think we'll be all set.
Yeah. Nice. That's great.
Yes,
Flooring. How are we going with that?
we're going good. So I'm waiting for the last asbestos estimate to come in this week. I have 3 of each. I will hand them in to the town administrator, and then he does whatever he does from there. He has to look at some different rules and state stuff and all of that to make sure that we've achieved the estimates we need in bids and such. So I'm hoping everybody who has come here, carpet people and asbestos people, said they are ready as soon as I tell them, whoever's chosen. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to do it in May because a lot of senior centers are going to start opening up in May.
Really?
Yep, Northbridge is going to be opening in May. I'm not sure about Sutton. I haven't heard anything about Webster. Oxbridge is doing small things. So we were hoping for sometime in June or July to at least get the blood pressure clinic back, the podiatrist, maybe little, you know, little things like, you know, the health clinics, depending on now how the state does come May or June with all the variants and such, the numbers in town. So hopefully that'll all be done. And now we've been able to save a little bit because originally we were going to have everything moved out of the senior center and put into pods in the parking lot. And now because the asbestos is really segregated to the main room and to my office in the front and to the osteo room, it's not in the conference room and it's not in the back office. So we're going to move with help from probably the highway department, everything into one room. They'll seal it off. Then once the flooring gets done, they'll push everything out and then do the flooring in here. So in the last year or so, the kitchen floor has had like a little leak and it started to bubble up. And it's just vinyl tile over cement. So we'll be able to run the floor now right into the kitchen.
Oh, nice. And it goes into the meeting room as well?
Yeah, so it'll be hardwood floors in the main room, in the conference room, and in the kitchen. The walkway between the bathroom is going to be carpet. And then the office in the front is going to be carpet, and the osteo room will be carpet squares, and the ramp. Everything else will be the hardwood, you know, the main areas that we really use. So we're really excited about that. So by the time people come back, they're going to be, wow.
Definitely will be.
And we have 2 rooms left that needed to be painted that were never done originally when BVT came out with the painting. So we're gonna have some tax work off people, just paint a couple little rooms before we put everything back together while everything's taken down, so.
Well, makes sense.
Yep, so we're really excited about that. Finally, our flooring after years and years.
Right. All right, anybody have any other business?
This is Janet Bruley. I missed 3/4 of the meeting because for some reason my phone got disconnected. And a couple of minutes ago, I tried signing back in and I did get on. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, my phone just went dead.
Oh.
And I tried calling Reed's cell phone, but I said, then hers must be working. I don't know what happened to mine, but I missed most of the meeting. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
That was you. I didn't realize. I never looked to see who it was.
Yeah, all of a sudden I got a busy sound on my phone and I kept hitting the talk button because the minutes were going, so I knew, you guys were still in the meeting. So that's okay. I'll talk to Rita after the meeting and she can fill me in on what I missed.
The other thing I was going to mention, Janet, if you'd give the new hours at St. Denis for the food bank.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we had given Patrice or Jennifer, I can't remember who. We decided that because we don't have people coming in on a Saturday, that it's only going to be open 2 days a week for now. On Mondays, it'll be open from 4 to 6 p.m. And on Wednesdays, it will be open from 1 to 3.
We hung the flyer on our board outside.
Okay. Another thing is, if for some reason anyone that's signed up for the food pantry, if they can't possibly make those 2 days, they can always call the rectory and somebody will go down to the food pantry with them. They don't want people to not have access, but we go there on Saturdays and for a couple of months now, there haven't been people coming on Saturday, so.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Miss Janet Millett, I just got in about 10 minutes after you first started, so I got most of the meeting.
Perfect, welcome.
Thank you.
All right, anybody have any other business they want to talk about?
I would like to welcome Jim as our newest full-time member.
Full-time member, congratulations.
The selectmen voted on that unanimously. There was a little question whether it was James or Jim. And because they both had something different on there. One had James and one had Jim. So we said either way, it's either. So thank you, Jim.
Oh, good. Yes, thank you.
For being a member. We do still have one opening for a senior member. I have reached out to quite a few seniors and hopefully we'll have a taker. If not, we still have enough for a quorum, so.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
All right, next meeting date, when you're looking at?
Possibly May 4th.
May 4th?
Yes.
Okay.
Does that work for everybody?
Yeah, that'll work for me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And I'll let him know the new date. And be at the senior center on Zoom, and I may be at home, hopefully, because the floors are getting done.
Oh, fingers crossed.
Yep.
All right, if that's it, I'd like to adjourn the meeting at 9:20 a.m.
Okay, I second it.
All right. Everyone have a good day.
Thank you.
Good to
Thank
hear you,
you.
Christine.